James Bond might soon be owned by Amazon. This is troubling. As a massive Bond fan, I really don't like this. And it's partly because of what I saw with the Rings of Power, among other shows. I just don't think that James Bond works in an environment where they are throwing things against the wall to see what sticks. This is a very particular character, and letting Amazon just bring in some random group, random team to try and rejuvenate the franchise when it's crystal clear what it needs. Everybody knows what the next James Bond should be. It's no secret. I've said it before. Others have said it. Like other Bond actors have said it. Christopher Nolan has said it. It's quite clear we need to go back to the roots and have a period piece Bond film set during the years that the novels were being written and make them true to the novels. No changes. Well, you know what I mean. You can add a few pieces of dialogue and whatnot and a few scenes, but no changes from the actual characters and how they act. Make them act true to the time. Amazon is going to come in and try to streamify it, is my worry. And so you're going to have a TV show of Bond similar to Reacher, which is a show I actually like. I like the show. It works as a show. I actually thought the movie way of doing it with Tom Cruise didn't work, but the show makes sense. That can't work with Bond. Bond does not have the chapters don't follow a true episodic drama unless you force it, and it won't work for Bond. It will just be a generic spy show at that point. It won't have the same majesty, the same grace that it has before. But also just modernizing Bond, it starts to not really make sense. It starts to not work. He's a different character at that point, which is fine. You can have just a cool spy guy, but he's not James Bond from the 1950s. He's James Bond from the early 2000s, where he's sort of rubbing people the wrong way a little bit, sort of edgy, but that's not what we need right now. We kind of got that already with Daniel Craig. We need to go back to the roots, and I don't think Amazon's going to take us there. If they do, and they actually have theatrical releases, I'll completely take this back, but I do not see that happening. I see this ruining the franchise, and I'm not the only one that thinks so. A lot of the former actors have spoken out that this is a bad deal. The people who were involved in this, they eventually were given just so much money that they couldn't turn that down. Now, there is one caveat, and that is, I believe this is barring regulatory approval from both the U.S. and the UK governments in terms of some sort of monopoly regulation thing. I'm really hoping the UK shuts this down and says, no, we want it to be owned by a UK company to keep Bond localized to them, because that's where James Bond originates from. Or Scotland as it later became. But still, they want something in the United Kingdom, in Great Britain, to run it, I think, because letting Amazon do it, they're going to just bring anyone in. So hopefully this gets stopped. I am just putting the warning out there. So be warned.